Right. Hello, hello. Greetings. We are on the record for our agenda today. I am council member, future council, write-in candidate, running for City Council District 1, James Chandler. And I wanted to share some pointers, some views, some policies that I would like to see in place as City Council, as also an activist and a person that is standing for human rights, not just running for office, but standing for human rights. That's the difference between me and other politicals that are running. So I want to share some policies, some thoughts, some ideas, because we need new, fresh ideas. I come with fresh ideas to present to my colleagues, my constituents, and those who are willing and will vote for me. And even if people don't vote for me, and even if I don't win, I will continue this fight as an activist to push what I believe in and fighting for human rights continuously. So I would like to share a speech that I recently put together, outlined from other speeches as well that I've put together, all in depth in this one speech. It reads, "My brothers and sisters, citizens of Detroit and fellow Americans, we gather at a crossroads where justice, fairness, and truth demand our voices. For too long, the people of Detroit and people across this nation have been silenced, ignored, and dismissed. But today I rise to declare enough is enough. Let me begin with the matter of accountability. If we the people can file disability complaints in multiple ways, through hotlines, online forms, and writing, emails, per se, right? Then why can we not file complaints just as easily against police officers, attorney generals, judges, clerks, secretaries of state, and legislators to these specific offices? The police officers, the attorney generals, judges, clerks, secretaries of state, and legislators. They often refuse emails, and they give us voicemails, and when we do call, hardly no return on our call or a solving of our issue. The emails are usually automatic replies, and nothing happens from there either. And the people deserve equal access to justice, no matter who the complaint is against. Our voices should not be filtered, blocked, or buried when it comes to holding powerful institutions accountable. Now let us talk about corruption in our courts. The 36th District Court in Detroit and the Judicial Tenure Commission have become symbols of bias, extortion, and bribery. They are supposed to project justice, but instead they profit from injustice. These institutions should lose their licenses, be dismantled, or at the very least be forced to pay back what they've stolen from the public trust. Crooked courts and corrupt commissions should not be rewarded. They should be shut down permanently." I agree with what President Donald Trump is stating and is fighting for, as far as with these corrupt courts and handling or mishandling our money. Where is the money? Detroit is a rich USA. United States is a rich nation. Detroit is a rich city. And we have been marginalized, treated as underserved, or manipulated into believing the system, who has brought us lies. Now, on the issue of economics, Detroit operates on a $3 billion budget. How long has this been? How long has this been? This $3 billion budget, right? The same tired number for decades. Yet Detroit is not a poor city. We sit on the Great Lakes system, controlling one of the most valuable water resources in the world. Our water fuels other cities, yet our own people struggle. We house banks and financial institutions that make billions, yet the people, particularly African Americans who built this city, see little return. Where is the accumulated interest? Where is the compounded value? Where is the investment in our communities? Right? Again, like banks, they build interest off our money just sitting in their banks. Why can't we accumulate interest? Being with these banks for years, we should be accumulating some type of interest with our money sitting there for ourselves. Again, nobody's talking about this, and it needs to change. Reparations for African Americans are long overdue. It's another subject. And real economic expansion for our Detroiters must go beyond this stagnant selling of $3 billion. In order for us to reach the reparations, we must go beyond this $3 billion budget. And of course, we can't expect to get reparations from our own tax money, our own dollars, our own, because reparations is restitution. So this has to be done federally, through a federal way. So again, that is being done, or I want to reach our legislature nationally on that level. I've been reaching out to Rashida Tlaib and other senators, unresponsive. Consider also how the auto and insurance industries exploit us. There was a time when an odometer, could run proudly to 500,000 miles. Right? Hold on. Sorry I had to do that, but... Odometer, yes. Okay. So, there was a time when an odometer could run proudly to 500,000 miles. Cars were built to last, and their value was respected. But now, at 209,799 miles, the system calls your car worthless. $209,799, right? The system calls your car worthless. Insurers undervalue vehicles, declare them total losses too early, and strip working people of their investments. That is nothing less than insurance fraud by design. Okay? We demand new laws that stop insurers from devaluing cars based on mileage alone, and that recognize the true durability of our vehicles. And when people go to purchase a car, dealerships run credit checks that damage financial records even when no sale is completed. Nobody's talking about this. This is predatory. That is why I am calling for a car credit recall law, requiring auto companies to recall and erase illegitimate credit checks, just as they recall defective vehicles, just as they recall defective vehicles, I had to repeat that. Just as they recall defective vehicles, no person's future should be harmed by a dealership's games. Our transit system is no better. Along West 8 Mile Road, this is what I was dealing with. I sent a letter to the transit companies. Riders are left stranded without bus stops, signs, or shelters. Seniors The disabled and families are forced to wait in unsafe conditions, while the price of a 31-day bus pass at $70, it's $70, remains an unbearable burden. Okay? DDOT receives millions, but riders receive neglect. That must end. I am calling for more bus stops, fair pricing, and the creation of a new tradition. This is a proposal I wrote, and I still have to get it to the city clerk's office down at the state building. This proposal is for Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day. Okay, another holiday, Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day, where our community comes together each January 1st to care for riders who ride the buses, right? Restore dignity and rebuild trust in public transit, right? But beyond transit, beyond courts, beyond cars and credit, let us talk about the American dream itself, right? And I'm gonna get more into the transit or this proposal. This is the proposal here. Let me see. So this is the proposal here. I don't know if you can see that. I have my screen up. Bear with me. Almost got it. So of course you're not gonna be able to see the stuff in the background. All right, so yeah, almost. There we go. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me, y'all. Just give me time. Almost had it there. Even if you could just see the title, that it is a proposal that I put together for the transit or city council as well to look at. Wow. There we go. That's Somebody at the Bus Stop Day. All right, James Chandler, right? So I'm gonna get back to that. Okay. But where I left off. But beyond transit, beyond courts, beyond cars and credit, let us talk about the American dream itself. For too long, banks have profited off the people while giving crumbs in return. I propose a new law requiring banks to pay 3 to 5 years of interest on every dollar deposited, or how I was thinking it was, if you've been with your bank 3 to 5 years, you should be able to have some interest returned off the money that's been sitting there. Okay? This is not a handout. This is justice. If banks can multiply our money for their gain, usually without our permission, right, then they can share that wealth with the very people who made it possible. That is how we make the American dream real, by putting wealth back in the hands of the people. And finally, we must confront the hypocrisy of history. They erased Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, and the native woman on land or lakes butter. They tell us to get over it, okay? And we realize that Trump just stepped in for the Cracker Barrel situation. You know, a CEO came and changed the logo, and people was really upset. And again, the history of that place is very racist, and you know, we didn't care for the change. However, Trump stood up and fought for that place, and many people on his wing, on his side, you know, rallied it on for this change. And yet we see what he's done with the Smithsonian Museum and trying to get rid of black history out of schools and educational systems, the teaching of the history. So it's kind of like a slap in the face of other races. So this, again, this attack on DEI, a little bit, and we know it's fraud within these systems too. So we have to realize that as well, because we have to get rid of the fraud. We have to get rid of corruption altogether. So I'm with that. But the issue becomes a racist issue when you do one over the other, or you find yourself at a hypocritical standpoint. And when we find ourselves in a hypocritical situation, we have to re-examine our policies. We have to re-examine the laws we try to put in place, or plans we try to put out there, to see how it can work and benefit all people. For this is a nation built around freedom, right? The land of the free, the home of the brave, right? So we should be brave to be able to speak up for what we believe in, brave to fight for our country as well, right? Those are the benefits of that our Constitution grants us, or we ought to protect that, right? We ought to protect that right. So, that hypocritical situation, right? This is what they do. They tell us to get over it. Them erasing Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, Native woman on land, lakes, butter. They tell us to get over it. But when we demand reparations, which they tell us to get over as well. When we demand reparations, which they tell us to get over as well. When we demand reparations for centuries of stolen labor, destroyed families, and generational poverty, they mock us. Let me be clear. Reparations is not charity. It is not a handout. It is justice delayed. And we will not stop until justice delayed becomes justice delivered. So I stand before you today. I sit before you today. I come before you today with one united message. Detroit, America, we deserve better. We the people, we deserve better. We deserve courts that serve justice, not corruption. We deserve budgets that grow with our potential, not budgets that trap us in the past. We deserve insurance and auto industries that respect our investments, not steal them. We deserve transit that works for the people, not against them. We deserve banks that pay us fairly, not rob us legally or illegally, right? And we deserve reparations, the debt of history paid in full. My name is James Chandler, and I will not be silent. Together, we will demand truth, we will demand fairness, and we will demand justice. Because when the people rise, no corrupt system can stand. Thank you, and may justice guide us forward. Okay? Getting back to the proposal for a new holiday, Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day. This is written to the Detroit City Council. Subject proposal for the establishment of Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day. I did send a copy of this to the Reparations Task Force, Mary Sheffield's Reparations Task Force team, and they thought it was a pretty good idea, but that's all the comments I got back for it. But I really have to put this together once I go back to the state building to see this through as well. Introduction, it says, I am writing to propose the establishment of a new holiday in the city of Detroit called Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day. This proposed holiday aims to foster a sense of community, generosity, and support for individuals who rely on public transportation. And of course, this can be done nationally as well. Purpose and objectives. Because usually if it's a holiday, that's usually what happens in America, right? Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day will be celebrated on January 1st each year. The holiday's primary objectives are promote generosity, encourage individuals driving by bus stops to offer assistance or small gifts to those waiting for public transportation, right? Offer assistance or small gifts to those waiting for public transportation. Number 2, support the less fortunate, provide an opportunity for those with the means to share resources such as food, transportation, tokens, or monetary donations with people who are less fortunate. 3, foster community engagement. Strengthen community bonds by creating a shared experience of kindness and support for each other. Celebration and activities On Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day, residents and businesses will be encouraged to participate in various activities, including direct support. Individuals driving in cars or on bicycles can stop at bus stops to offer small tokens of appreciation, such as gift cards, snacks, or financial contributions. Community events. Local organizations and businesses can host events or drives to collect donations for distribution to bus stop patrons. 3. Awareness campaign. The city can facilitate awareness through social media, local news outlets, and community centers to promote participation and highlight the impact of the holiday. Implementation. 1. Partnerships. Collaborate with local businesses, community organizations, and media to promote and organize events for the holiday. 2. Publicity. Use city channels, social media, and local media to raise awareness and encourage participation in the holiday. 3. Evaluation. After the inaugural year, evaluate the impact and effectiveness of the holiday to ensure its success and make any necessary adjustments. Conclusion. Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day presents a unique opportunity to enhance community spirit and offer support to those who may be struggling. By fostering acts of kindness and generosity, this holiday can contribute positively to our city's social fabric. I respectfully request the Detroit City Council's consideration of this proposal and support for the establishment of Bless Somebody at the Bus Stop Day. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, James Chandler, activist, write-in candidate for City Council, Detroit District 1. So, put that with the other papers. But leave your comments on these ideas, fresh ideas. Again, nobody's talking about it. Nobody's walking it. Are we willing to do this? Do you like the idea? Are we willing to see this change? Many changes. There's a lot to fight for. I always say that. I see it. It's a lot to fight for. It's a lot to do. Why isn't it being done with our previous leaders in council? Anything I mentioned, why hasn't anything changed so far? You got people in there like James Tate, been in there 16 years, and we haven't seen not one of these ideas in his regime or plethora of plans, right? Right? It makes you think, like, do they really have a plan? They're willing to stick with the same plan, as they say. I constantly see the mayor debates that's going on now since everybody's running for office again, and they're all stating, the previous ones that's been in office and running again, they're often stating that they're going to continue the ball where they left off, when it seems that we need to break ties with what we've been doing and start to do something new, something that works, something that changes things, right? We have to do major things. And I am through with what I had to say. I hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, again, I'm James Chandler, running for City Council, District 1. A write-in candidate, so you have to write me in. Vote for me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time.